Hello, this is Mary Bush with Stampin' in the Sand. Thank you for joining me today. Welcome to our second installment in my Bohemian Crazy About You card class to go. This card class revolves around the Crazy About You stamp set from Stampin' Up! And the coordinating Hello You Thinlits dies. So let's get started. Today's card is going to be the Celebrating You card. You'll need to choose your Hello Honey card base and coordinating pieces. Your first piece is your pre-cut U. Your second piece is a 2 1/4 by 2 1/4 piece of very vanilla cardstock. This is where we're going to be stamping our swirl flower image and punching it out. You also have a 1 7/16 by 5-inch piece of Bohemian Designer Series paper, a 3 3/4 by 5-inch piece of very vanilla cardstock for our card front, an Island Indigo 3 7/8 by 5 1/8 inch piece of cardstock to go under the very vanilla panel, and our card base, which is Hello Honey, cut at 8 1/2 by 5 1/2 and scored at 4 1/4. So now we can get started assembling our card. We'll put this aside for a moment. The first thing that we will do is add some adhesive. I'm choosing to use the liquid glue. We're adding that to the back of our piece of Designer Series paper. And we're going to adhere that to the front of our very vanilla panel. Now, depending on how your piece of Designer Series paper was cut, you can determine which way you think it'll look best on your piece of very vanilla. I think that looks good like that. I'm going to bring in my liquid glue once again and add it to the back of my very vanilla panel. And this will get adhered to my Island Indigo piece. I like to use the liquid glue because it allows me a little bit of wiggle room when I'm putting my pieces together to make sure that they're lined up nice and straight and even. Okay, the next thing that we can do is stamp our, what I'm calling the swirl flower from our Crazy About You stamp set. And I'm going to be bringing in my Hello Honey ink. I'm going to ink that up. Check to make sure I've got good coverage. Set it down. I like to hold for a second or two, get it all nice and absorbed into the paper, and peel it away. Now I'm done with that, and I can close up my ink pad. The next thing I'm going to do while I let that ink set is I'm going to bring in my paper snips and snip off a corner. That's just to allow for it to fit more easily into my punch. We'll set that aside to dry for a moment. I'm going to bring in my U and a piece of scrap paper. And actually, I don't want to use the liquid glue on this. I'm going to use a two-way glue pen. It gives me a little bit finer application of glue, so it's not quite as messy when I go to put my card together. So we've got that. I'm going to grab that, get my scrap out of the way, and now I'm going to put down my U onto my card front. Just kind of eyeball it. It doesn't have to be centered in any way. Just got to leave a little bit of room for our message across the top and some room for our flower. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the 1 3/4 inch scallop circle punch. Now mine's the old whale style punch. The new versions are slightly different, but the image is exactly the same. I'm going to line that up inside and punch it out and put away the punch and the scrap. Next, I'm going to bring in my Blackberry Bliss ink pad so that I can stamp my greeting above my U. Now, on the sample card, you'll see that I've stamped celebrating for celebrating you. I'm going to mix it up this time and use a different greeting out of the same stamp set, which is thinking of. The thing that I love about this Crazy About You stamp set is it offers so many different options, so you don't have to always do the same greeting. And it's in photopolymer, so you can pretty much get a good straight image just by looking through the stamp. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is assemble our final card. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to bring in my dimensionals, and I'm going to add 1 dimensional to the back of my flower and guesstimate where I want to lay that down. Then I'm going to flip it over and add a few more dimensionals into the corners, maybe 1 in the center for good measure. Pick off all the backings. That one's already off. Okay, yep, okay, got them all. And now I can center this on the front of my card. And there you have it. There's our finished card. Now again, like in the first card in our series, I chose to embellish the center of my flower and a few of my triangles down here with the rhinestone basic jewels. If you prefer, you could add pearls, you could add brads, or you could add some dazzling diamonds or dazzling details. The choice is yours. I happen to think they look just as lovely without anything, but you can certainly embellish as you wish. So I hope you have enjoyed this second card in our series, Bohemian Crazy About You Card Class to Go. For more details or purchase information for my class, please visit www.StampinInTheSand.blogspot.com. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a great day. Happy stamping! Bye!